What really changes as you climb from $20,000 to 1 million? We're breaking down every single wealth level to reveal the shocking truth about the distance of money. Level 1 starts with $20,000. Your income is $10 per hour. You understand this truth not because you calculated it, but because the number follows you everywhere. Into the grocery store, into the gas station, into every conversation you avoid about what you do for a living. After taxes, you take home roughly $1,400 a month. Rent is $750 for a room. This is not an apartment, it is a room. In someone else's house with someone else's rules and someone else's noise through the wall at 2 a.m., you eat what costs less. Rice, ramen, whatever is on the bottom shelf. You stop pretending you choose these things. You do not choose, the number chooses for you. $10 an hour gives no preferences, it gives you math. Your car has 190,000 miles on it. The check engine light has been on so long it feels like a feature. You put $20 of gas in at a time because filling the tank means skipping something else. Everything at this level is a trade. Gas or groceries, groceries or phone bill, or the one pair of shoes falling apart since March. You're at the register buying toothpaste and a loaf of bread. The card declines not because you're broke, because the $11.4 hasn't cleared yet from the transfer you made this morning. You step aside, you open the app, you refresh it twice. The cashier waits. The person behind you waits. You feel something shrink inside you that has nothing to do with money. Your friends from high school split into two directions. Some went to college, some got better jobs. You see their lives on your phone while sitting in a parking lot eating a $5 meal between shifts. You don't hate them. You stop comparing because comparing at $20,000 feels like staring at the sun. It doesn't help, it just burns. You Google jobs at midnight. Every listing that pays more wants experience you can't get without already being there. The trap isn't laziness, it's the loop: work, pay, survive, repeat. And the thing that keeps you up isn't tonight, it's the fear that this loop is permanent, that this is just how it stays. The first rule at $20,000: you don't manage money, money manages you. That changes once you hit level 2, $35,000. This paycheck signals stability rather than actually being good money wealth. It is genuine income with benefits, direct deposits, and a job email title suggesting you fit in. You relocate into your own place that is truly yours. It is actually not merely a single rented room. It is a unit with one bedroom, small kitchen, and locking door where the quiet inside is yours. That quiet feeling feels like the priciest possession you have ever held. Meals happen without needing to do the cost math beforehand. Filling gas until the nozzle clicks off brings joy those earning more never comprehend. Buying fresh shoes, affordable but new, lets you walk to work standing a little taller. However, earning 35 grand where rent costs 1200 remains a struggle. You simply do not sense that tight constraint constantly anymore. The tension shifts from your throat down to shoulders, present but less loud. Fear from the 20,000 level vanishes, swapped for a vague knowing a rough month might set back progress. You begin observing things you could not see when you made 20,000. Individuals nearby are bringing in higher income. It is not a huge difference, yet enough to make their weekends distinct. Their living spaces seem changed. Even their anxiety appears altered. Jealousy is not what you feel. You are just simply conscious now. Logging into your bank happens on Fridays. This is not driven by fear. The balance is never thrilling, yet not scary either. This zone between thrill and fright is exactly where 35,000 exists. For the initial time, you begin considering what follows. Here is the second rule: this income marks when survival ends and anticipation begins. Simply looking ahead alters everything. That shift leads to level 3, the $50,000 mark. You count as average here. This isn't the average anyone desires, it signifies landing where most folks end up. You perform every action correctly. Degree secured, job held, direct deposit biweekly. Yet correct feels ordinary somehow. You own a one-bedroom in a nice area, a reliable vehicle with less than 100K miles, a credit card paid off mostly. Your refrigerator stays full. All your bills get paid consistently. Dinner happens without checking your accounts first. This once seemed impossible, today it feels normal, but normal creates the problem. One quiet night you crunch the numbers. 50 grand annually for 30 years straight, identical raises, the same path forward. The ending number is survivable, not thrilling at all, just survivable. Staring at that forecast brings unexpected feelings, not fear but disappointment, the type that doesn't hit hard. It seeps in slowly like cold air from a hidden window. A coworker earns $80,000. Same time worked, different section. You discovered this accidentally and cannot forget it. The space between 50 and 80,000 isn't merely 30 grand. It means a new home, new car, new freedom. You perform identical tasks. The paycheck tells a different tale. You begin wanting more not from greed, pure awareness. This awareness appeared at 35,000, yet sharper today. At 50,000, both directions appear clear. You view 20,000 behind, feeling thankful. You spot 100,000 ahead, feeling hungry. Sitting in the middle of this view is the most uncomfortable spot on the scale. Rule 3 states 50,000 is the mirror. You see precisely where you stand and where you aren't. Connecting from that clarity, we now reach level 4 at $75,000. Here, something fundamentally shifts within your reality. This change occurs not inside your bank account but deeply within your mornings. Upon rising, finances are no longer your initial concern immediately each single morning. Funds exist, remaining visible, yet they no longer drive the bus forward. Initially, you consider your desires before calculating affordability, a very true first for you. You relocate to a significantly nicer residential space. It isn't opulence, merely spacious living. An extra bedroom becomes your dedicated workspace, a kitchen suitable for actual cooking of meals, a district allowing uninterrupted sleep every night. Though the improvement wasn't huge, choosing rather than settling alters your daily demeanor significantly. Flights get booked without awaiting discounts or sales. Grocery bills go completely unchecked during purchase. Minor changes seem massive to those recalling the $20,000 struggle. Wealth isn't yours, yet the numbers function properly, quietly and comfortably, lacking the constant bargaining of all lower tiers entirely. Others begin labeling you successful openly. You accept it, though the term feels borrowed, like a well-fitting coat that isn't yours truly. You recognize the appearance of $100,000 from this specific vantage point. Meanwhile, $75,000 resembles a temporary waiting area. Distance between you and former friends becomes clearly visible. No arguments exist, only silences and unspoken topics, since describing your new home to room renters feels like an unwanted language spoken. You do not retreat, the elevation creates the distance naturally. Rule number 4 states money turns quiet at $75,000 exactly. Within that silence, you ultimately hear your own inner voice clearly. That voice guides you straight into level 5. Level 5 is the $100,000 mark, called six figures, a target everyone pursues. You believed hitting this mark meant you finally arrived, but that sensation never comes. Instead, it resembles entering a doorway into a chamber far larger than anticipated, filled with additional entrances you never noticed. The tax burden exceeds expectations, turning that 100,000 into 72,000 once government claims its share. In San Francisco or New York, income is survival funds wearing a prestigious label. Relatives see wealth, colleagues see typical, and neighbors see impoverishment. This figure holds immense value or zero value based entirely on the observer. You see sharing earnings with others, driven by safety rather than modesty. Once you hit six figures, everybody holds a view regarding your finances. Relatives phone frequently, acquaintances propose schemes, and online strangers insist you lack true wealth. Suddenly, people understand how you should handle digits they have never possessed. Living shifted less than expected, though residence, meals, and wardrobe did improve. However, moving from 75 to 100,000 lacks impact of rising from 20,000 to 35,000. Initial increase transformed your existence, while this subsequent one only altered choices. Choices without direction is being lost in greater comfort. You remain with this figure you pursued for years, understanding the pursuit itself was the purpose. Ownership feels different than desire did. Hunger acted as the motor, but now the motor is silent, leaving you uncertain about next propulsion. Rule 5 states six figures serves as an entryway rather than a final stop, where other side offers a query instead of a solution. Now level 6 hits $150,000. Life alters visibly, not drastically visibly. Apartment improves, the vehicle is newer. Vacations are real, not long weekends driving close by. However, the biggest change isn't material, it's social. You cease relating to money problem talks, not from lacking care but because you forgot the feeling. That forgetfulness makes distance you miss until someone reminds you. A companion asks to borrow money. The sum is small for you. It's everything to them. You agree yes without thought. They say thanks in a way carrying weight you weren't expecting. This gap isn't financial, it's experiential. You inhabit different worlds now. Same city, same roads, different math. You start measuring life differently now, not paychecks, but freedom. Can you leave this job without panic? Can you take a month off? Can you say no to draining things without consequences? The response is almost, not quite yet, but almost. The sixth rule. $150,000 is where money stops being the talk and starts being the silence between talks nobody has any more. Beyond silence lies level 7 at $250,000. World changes, bringing new problems, new vocabulary. You discuss tax optimization rather than tax refunds. Asset allocation replaces savings accounts entirely. Your accountant fees exceed your first car's price. Peers earn similar figures, pulled by gravity, not design. Conversations shift without anyone announcing it. Dinners where nobody checks the bill. Weekends lack cheap options, not due to showing off. Cost stops being a variable in the equation. You stop explaining your life to people who don't live at this altitude. Not arrogance, accuracy. The language doesn't translate. When saying my tax situation is complicated to someone earning $35,000, their eyes change, not judgment, distance. The same distance felt looking up from $20,000. Now someone is looking up at you with that same expression and you understand both sides, which makes it lonelier, not less. The seventh rule: the higher the salary, the smaller the circle. And the smaller the circle, the quieter the room. From that quiet room, level 8 hits $500,000, making money invisible. Prices go unchecked completely and bank balances go unseen. Decisions aren't about cost anymore, now they are about time. Now everything gets measured in time. What costs hours? What saves hours? What earns while you sleep? Your problems have different names: estate planning, trust structures, capital gains, words absent from your vocabulary at $20,000. You didn't learn them by choice, the money simply required it. The isolation is real, not loneliness, but something else entirely. That individual you were at $20,000, eating ramen between shifts, wouldn't recognize you. You wouldn't know how to explain this life to them without sounding like someone you once resented. The eighth rule: $500,000 doesn't buy happiness, it buys distance from struggle, from people, from the version of yourself who understood what $10 an hour actually felt like. Level 9, $1 million, $1 million annually. You do not say it out loud. Nobody at this level does. The number lives in tax documents and wire transfers and conversations with attorneys billing by the 6-minute increment. You walk into rooms where decisions are made not because of fame, because your judgment and your capital are very useful to the people already sitting there. That is a different invitation, structural rather than social. Distance from $20,000 is permanent now, not just financial, psychological, emotional. You remember the parking lot, $5 meal, the declined card. You remember it the way you remember a country you lived in as a child. Familiar but foreign, yours but not anymore. The ninth rule: at 1 million, money stops measuring your worth. It starts measuring your reach. And reach changes everything it touches, including you. And somewhere right now, someone earns $10 every hour. They sit in a parking lot between work shifts, eating quick, low-cost meals. Their phone screen is heavily cracked. Their fuel tank is partially empty. They search for new jobs at midnight. They believe this concerns the digit. It is not. It concerns how that digit shifts the space between your current self and future self. The wage arrives every 2 weeks. It accepts anyone showing up.